Hello YouTube and welcome to the finale of my Flip Flappers reaction series. Back here again for the final time for some more Flip Flappers. Today we're going to be tackling episodes 12 and 13. So yeah, pretty excited to be wrapping this up, albeit I think I know what kind of direction we're going to go. We'll kind of get into it. I've got a pretty good indicator of what's going to happen, but we'll see. We'll see. I could be surprised. I have been surprised in the past by the show. But yeah, it's weird. It's going to be sad to say goodbye to Flip Flappers. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, again, yeah, it happens all the time on the channel, just me moving on to new things, but some hurt more than others, I'll say that. Either way, we've got the solitary YouTube comment here from Ragashingo, which we'll go into, which will be kind of the basis for what we're going to be, I guess, discussing in the intro here. And again, I was largely confused last recording session. I think I got to a pretty good area by the very end of the video, but again, not a lot of people watch all of the video all the time as well. But either way, we have two time periods. A young Mimi, Salt, and Papikana at the science facility. They grew up to young adulthood together, with Salt and Papikana getting Mimi some extra freedoms to go outside. Salt and Mimi have a daughter. Mimi tries to escape with baby Kokona, but is recaptured. Salt, Papikana, and Mimi try a second escape. Mimi and Papikana seem to escape with baby Kokona. Facility is destroyed in the process. So what strikes me as weird in all of this is Kokona herself. What happens to the baby in that regard? I know that Mimi, again, probably splits up and becomes all these different fragments. Kokona is still in the possession of the people, and we're going to keep an eye on her because she's a fragment. She's being personified as a fragment to the organization, right? We're going to keep an eye on her insofar as we already have a fragment. We're not going to harvest it. We're just going to keep her over here. We're going to keep kind of Yayaka to keep an eye on her. And I think that's kind of the idea there. Then we skip forward a little bit. Scientist father continues the facility's mission, now twisted by his craziness caused by a meeting with his mind in pure illusion, and continues recruiting and now creating, oh my god, children as they try to reclaim amorphous fragments left behind by Mimi. Yayaka is chosen around this time, some 10 years after Mimi escaped with baby Kokona. I think we're just time skipping a decade or more here, so Kokona is high school age, Salt is adult, etc. But yeah, that doesn't explain the Papika thing, which I'm sure we'll go into with this last episode. Again, I'm seeing something in, like, she was involved in the explosion, so something happened there. That's my broad theory. And this is my final solitary question as well. What was Salt trying to accomplish in the present? Surely he knows Kokona is his daughter, so is he just trying to get Mimi back? Now, the way we're framing this, it seems like maybe he surely didn't know that Kokona was the daughter the entire time. Did he even know the baby's name? I think he did. Yes, he must have known the baby's name, because he was there in that scene where they explained that it was Kokona. He was at least relatively present. Also, she's a dead ringer for the wife. So, like, the daughter and the mother, like, they look very similar. So, how could he not know? My lighting's fucking weird today, too. It's going all over the place. It's also hot as balls outside. Anyway, that's a bit better. Yeah, I'm confused. What is Salt's goal? Salt was then like, okay, bad Mimi took over. This aspect of Mimi's personality that is broadly protective, which I think is going to be the major villainous force during this part of the story. He couldn't pull the trigger. He wanted the old Mimi back, but I think that's also like a fruitless endeavor. I don't think you can do that. I think she's gone. And I think understanding the difference for Salt between Mimi and Kokona, and that we can't get the old Mimi back, is part of his journey here. Because again, I'm imagining we go into pure illusion, and then that pure illusion itself starts to bleed with the real world, insofar as we can involve the rest of the cast. Like, the twins will have something to do as a result. But either way, yeah, like, broadly, I think we're just going to go to pure illusion, right? And then it's going to be like a story about how... So broadly, pure illusion's been associated with this creative side of the personality, right? As opposed to Kokona's normal character traits of being a bit of a stick in the mud, very time-sensitive, studious, all these other things, where pure illusion has represented this artful stuff through like Iroha and a bunch of other characters and that kind of thing, right? Again, this has been framed as a good thing, moving away from normalcy into a little bit more of freedom, right? Feels good. Again, we're associating that same concept of freedom with Mimi's escape from the facility and all that kind of stuff as well. But we're taking that to the nth degree. We're showing that that in of itself is not inherently a good thing and can be a trapping mechanism within its own right for somebody that doesn't fall into your kind of perceived boundaries of what it should be, right? So, like, Kokona hey, you would love to be exactly like me because I personify all these good things. No, Kokona wants to be Kokona. And that's kind of what we're going to get at with the finale. Of course, Papika tying into that with her confusing Mimi and Kokona this entire time. I love Kokona for Kokona. Let's put those words into action. Yayika, same thing. I saw Kokona as a bit of a tool, a means to an end. She was my job. Was that friendship actually genuine? Put it on the line. Show me that it was actually genuine. Again, I think the character motivations for, I guess, our main three characters there is relatively strong going into the finale. And again, we're going to thwart Mimi, hopefully not in a super violent, gory way. That would be bad. But the things that she represents will be defeated and we'll get some semblance of a happy ending. Maybe Salt will get some kind of redemption. Hopefully there's no robot on screen. Hopefully the robot dies off screen. That's what's going to happen, hopefully. And then from there, we'll move. Those are my broad predictions. I think, again, I'm pretty much on the money there with me reading the kind of thematic stuff in the show. So we will see. Let's shout out those Patreons because, again, they give me money. Again, if you wanted to be 1 week early, no, I can't say that anymore. If you wanted double votes in the upcoming poll, which again, this is for patrons, right? If you're a patron watching this video, you should vote in the poll that is currently on the channel. And you'll get double votes and it'll be awesome. Many people have access to double votes already, such as Mickey Babbers, Charles++, Akomancer, /Bananarama Hamadama-sama, Bobbin, Choba Ruby, Dapper Dwarf, Domobot, Ichu, Ed, Fancy Question Mark, Fleur Nightingale, Fried Rice, Fruit, Gloriana Tenebrae, Glyke, Greybeard, Gus N, Ika, Iria, Yako Yavanen, Jacob R, Joran, Kelvin, Clem, Nosta, Cot Begemot, Lou, Master Detective, Max, Mistake L Chen, Mr. Maniacs, Need, Parnick, Pencil Sharp 333, Ragashingo, Ronlad BNK, St. Lily, Sal, Sam1373, Skeleton, Fueko, Without a Net, Yuan Kai Shu, Yuki Ali, Zach, Binshi, Hans Peter, Marsh, Voodoo Chili, and Ron Tiki. Thank you all for giving me money. I like the money. Thank you for everything. I don't know why I sounded weird there, but sure. Let's dive into the penultimate episode of Flip Flappers, second to last. Yeah. Discord if you want to talk to me about the show, I guess. I don't know what else I normally say. Let's do this thing. Let's go. Radio, I have episode 12 up there ready to go. 23 minutes and 41 seconds on this one, so sync up accordingly with your own copy. I'm using the Zang file set. That sounds correct. And there will be a picture-in-picture version in the description below for your viewing pleasure. Let's give this thing a 3, 2, 1. Radio, 3, 2, 1. Go. We're in heaven. Oh yeah, it's also like the snow world too. Mimi. Cock in a naked prison. What the hell? Interesting. Yeah, I'm sure we know. Yayika's so cool, though. I can't even get over it. The eye patch, the cape. She's awesome. So from that, I'm picking up something like... If she, like, recognizes this place, it's like it's Mimi's place, right? Because that seems in the immediate aftermath of the explosion, right? Are you following me here? Does that mean that this snowy place in episode 1 was not Kokona's pure illusion, but instead Mimi's? It's kind of interesting. Maybe that's a bridge too far, we'll see. But, yeah, it seems like we're going to go into why Papika makes sense here pretty early on. Which is cool enough. We like that. I'm recording, which is always good too. I've had a coffee, which I put it away. Normally I show off my coffee, but no. I can show off Goodbye Eri, which remains on my desk. I don't know why. Yeah, there's lots of bullshit on here I need to clean. I wonder if we'll go back to a lot of the animation stuff that characterized the show early. I commented last week that, albeit good animation, it wasn't kind of like the showpiece stuff that we had early in the show. You would imagine that they've kept some budget there for a big old finale. That would make sense to me. Flee Fla. Yeah, what are you two up to? I feel like you're putting words in my mouth a little bit. Never tear us apart. Thanks, Mom. Sounds dangerous, Mom. Big old white canvas. Settle down, buddy. Interesting. It seems like they're going to... Yeah, okay. Gotcha. I mean, probably eventually. Oh, look at the masks in the background. That was cool. Solto-san. What? I don't know what the box is. Is the box the same as the Elpis? Was it called that? Alright, we found her. Oh shit, she's cool. Dachi? How do you know that? There we go. Ask that question. I'm gonna pick both. Both of them. I don't think you can pick both. She's a Terminator. Whoa! Holy shit, that was cool. Yeah, she spliffed you up. Oh yeah, this is like yeah, episode 2. Are we gonna do like a like show off all the zones again? Yayaka, you're going to need to say flip a flapping do too. Come on, Yayaka, transform. Wow, sick. This is very video gamey, I like it. You gotta throw the thing right at the right time. Okay. Where's my rabbit friend? Okay, I remember this too. We were only here briefly. Okay. Oh, he's so cool. Oh, maybe less so. Why did he do that? Oh, because she was going to fall off. Look at this stupid bullshit. Oh, what are you two doing? Oh yeah, fair enough. Did that guy die yet? Or she died. Murder the fucking dude. Well, it's not Daijobu, is it? It's bad. Alright, you girls winning? I remember. Where's my devil friend? Papaka, use your brain. You remember here too. Don't trust that person. Told ya. Didn't believe me. She threw a nuke at it? Oh, that's interesting. That's like the same hair thing that was in like episode 10 or so. 9? One of them. Well, watch out. Sand tentacles. Shoujo laugh. Bondage. Thoughts? Thoughts, Coconut? Anything? Just kind of floating down the stream. Get bombed. Yeah, that was very clever. I liked that sequence. This guy's still here? Kill. 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 Kill more. Yes. Finally dead. Oh yeah, so it's still bleeding out into thing. But can you go through that? I don't think you can. It's just a visual. Yayaka, it didn't work at all. If only there was something you could do. Do it, and then say the words. It'll be funny. I know. Love triangle. Transform. 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 This not moving you at all, Coconut? Not at all? Yes, dude. Give me the sequence. Oh, she loves it. She's not even embarrassed anymore. Oh. Oh, green. I like green. Messy. Finally. Golasso. color are her eyes normally? She's right. It's so gay. Yeah, Cockata's almost like in this state where she can't even like fathom it. Not much further now. I hate these two. Death and despair for the robot and the girl. Oh, maybe I was right. Let's go. Now she's just loving it. I'm gonna need you to explain to me why that girl's on our side now. She's just chill. Why not? Oh, Ikemen. He was actually hot. The biggest twist of all. What is happening? Excuse yourself? Popeye? Okay, whatever you think is best. Sure. I think giving that robot anything with the brain it has is, diabolical. He's still not even strong enough at all. Well, his strength only increased by 9. Or 8 or whatever it was. Cocken is drunk. Oh, we're back in the city. Oh, he's back. Cool. Yeah, sick. I'd love to see somebody with no context watching this episode. I think that'd be very funny. Just like all these different worlds and stuff. Egg? No, prison. Interesting. That's like the prison the Paprika was in. That was cool. I like the colors there a lot. Oh. Well, that was easy. I was about to say it didn't fucking do anything. Thoughts? Got any thoughts on this coconut? Anything at all? Interesting. Working together, teamwork. Oh, hair. It's true. Evangelion. Destroy with facts and logic. Quick. Oh. Oh. Well, that's pretty evil. No! I'm being manipulated. No, that didn't happen. You can't fool me. Well, guess we fucking lost. Never talk to me or my daughter ever again. Teleports behind you. Too indecisive? I guess. I wouldn't call it indecisiveness, though. I mean, that's correct. I mean, that's just good advice. Oh, I think I see what happened. Gotcha. Interesting. Yeah. Because there's the two Mimis, right? That's just Puppet on a good day anyway. So that was the other side of Mimi. Gotcha. Because I was like, that's just... Wait, she's being like good... She's been like a good mum. Oh, the music. Yeah, the freedom I never had. That's what I was gonna say. Oh. Well, why'd you do that initially? She's trolling. No hand-holding here. Oh. Actually, no, hand-holding's completely allowed. Whoa, we're cool! Get shit on. They're actually cool. What are we knocking on? Oh yeah, we're way too strong now. You're fucked. Okay. I didn't think we'd be here this early, which may set us up for a couple of things. One would be a larger epilogue, or another one would be the fight changes somewhat again, and we learn some more information. Notably, the twins haven't been involved, but maybe again they've already finished their little character arc by, again, the one of the twins. Oh my god, the girl one. She denying old mate, the scientist guy. Like, that's like her arc complete. I actually care for my sibling more than I do for you. Yeah, I mean, we're getting to the spots I thought we were going to get to. It's not. Is it hitting? It's hitting. It's pretty good. But can we go even further beyond? Potentially. We're going to have to see. I do think the other side of Mimi coming through there is pretty clever. I think that's cool. Right in the kind of classic clutch point in time. Also, the robot getting its own transformation sequence was funny, even if I do hate the robot. The only thing holding that guy back from world domination is that he's, like, kind of pathetic. If he was actually strong, would be fucked. So... Oh yeah, next time ons, we're not allowed to do that. I must remember, because I'm doing 2 other shows at the moment where next time ons are definitely allowed. I'm just going to watch the next one. Let's finish off the show. Episode 13 of Flip Flappers coming right up. Rightio, Flip Flappers episode 13, the final episode. Up there ready to go. 23 minutes and 41 seconds on this one, so sync up accordingly with your own copy. If not, picture-in-picture, and using the Zang file set. Just give it a 3, 2, 1. Rightio, 3, 2, 1. Go! So my lighting just went weird again, I noticed. Oh, okay, flashback. Sure. Have my baby. I'm going to disappear into nothing and shatter into a bunch of fragments. Gotcha. And then this is where we're picking up on the who the hell is Papaka stuff. Interesting. And that's how the ages make sense too. So you're just trapped in here for a fuckload of time. Which one are you? I'm imagining you're Kokona in one of her dreams, maybe. It's unclear. Mm-hmm. Don't know. I'm hungry, though. Hella fruit. Oh, watermelon. Hell yeah. Okay. Now I'm out of prison. Okay, but how does that connect to everything else? Because I was thinking we're going to go all the way there, and then it was going to be like, well, how is Papaka involved with Salt? When did that happen? And did she remember anything? Did Salt remember anything? Well, Salt did. Odd. Again, that explains the aging stuff, though. I really like their new forms and their new costumes and stuff as of the end of episode 12. Very, again, it's my only frame of reference, very Sympho Gear, where they'll get like a new costume and stuff by the very end, and they'll go... Again, there was a name for it, I forget the name. They go even further beyond, and it's cool. Like with all the white costumes, you know what I'm talking about, it's cool. Anyway. Thoughts on openings during the last episode? I say cut that shit. Yeah, look at these two. Being heterosexual. Die, kurai. Damn, third wheeling. Mum's still at large? Ugh! Those things are freaky. That was sick. We're way too strong for you now. Yeah, full on fucking Kill the Kill vibes. Let's go. Time reversal. Please don't spank me. Holy fuck. Yo! Alright, Mum's been a bit weird now. She's turning into a lizard person. It's just like they said. Yeah, Yuka, I think you're in a bit over your head. I'm gonna be honest. Dr. Zeus World. What is happening? This shit's mental. You seen Cat in the Hat, like the live action one? This shit's gone mental. Oh, kill the robot. Let's go. Finally, brain damage. Well, now what is he gonna do? Oh yeah, I must remember the Elpis, of course. That's where Salt is. Damn, she fucking died. No, she's still cool. Okay. Oh, saved! Let's go. I'll take the Sama, why not? Euphonium World. Yeah, get the rabbit in here, why not? Yukuskilu. Okay. Whatever you say. What, does he have to get hella naked? Oh yeah, kinda. Punished Salt. Yeah, I can see where we're going now. Salt's actually going to be crucial here. That's cool. You're literally like a snake lizard person. Control yourself. Crocodile. This is just... That's fucking rad. She's trolling. Watch out. She's being tricky. No, okay, didn't fall for it, that's good. The fog? Oh yeah, the Dark Forest! Yeah. If you know, you know. Now what? Daddy sold us here. Redemption. Not the stigmata, too. He's alright. Head up. Oh, sick. Other Mimi. Oh, it's adorable. Anyway, now what? She's not in the wrong. Again, we talked about it. Yes, Dad. He's so cool. Yeah, I would agree. Don't do that. That'd be bad. Yeah, hell yeah. Let's go. Now, I love a transformation sequence, but there's one thing I love way more, and that's an evil transformation sequence. Fucking Sauron. Let's go. Oh, you look at this freak shit in the background. Teleports behind you. Black hole skirt. What, Papicana? I'm believing. Stop stealing all my stuff, I'm gonna say. uh. Well, because you... Well, you also saved her back in the day. Look at this. Look at the impotence, everybody. Do you want to be together forever? doesn't that just warm the cockles? Anyway, let's go beat up Mum. Oh, it's playing the music? I believe. Keep believing, everybody. Oh. Yeah, okay, we won. Good. I was about to say they'd lost. Remind you of anywhere? Smart. Smart guy. Okay, trust. Because there's a lot of them. What's Mimi gonna do now then? Just gonna chill? Yeah, she said she'd make sure that we got home. Trap her ass. Yeah, that's kind of mean. Anyway. What's Papika gonna do then? What the fuck? Where am I? What the fuck is happening? Okay. That's exactly what Papika would say. What did Papika do? Oh yeah, seems chill. Well, he was already just like that anyway. Yeah? Okay. No! He's normal. Well, I still have an Amorphous, right? So it's going to be like the opening, and it's going to be fine. She's going to be like there with the umbrella. Oh, now it got harvested. Not even me anymore. Oh, she's here. Oh, it's like the first episode. Pace animation's really good. Mm-hmm. Okay. Goodbye. This in of itself was pure illusion. Well, you got May. Let's go back to our world. Yeah, because it was her pure illusion. Gotcha. The butterflies are cute. Probably something with the colors, too. Just follow the endless string of butterflies. Oh, this is cool. And yeah, Salt's just chilling. Is that a little smile from the boy? Damn, she kind of got shafted. We're just going to school now. How about you? Thoughts? Well, she is starting to paint something again. Oh, if it isn't my favorite trope in the world. Now get that surfboard out of there. No one cares. Okay. Saved. Yeah, the baited switch there's funny. Because I was like, how much do we have left? Well, clearly this isn't like, okay. I knew something was happening, I didn't quite know what. So that soft confirms to me something which I was thinking about is that the snow world is Mimi's world. And that world there is Kokkona's world. Does that make any sense? Or maybe I'm thinking about it too literally. Yeah, again, leading into this episode, I'm like, okay, let's knock it up another notch. We definitely did. We went for spectacle. And again, we're less in an explaining mood and we're more just like leaving it kind of out in the open type beat, which is fine. Again, I appreciate that too. But there's still things that I think are unexplained. But yeah, again, that's neither here nor there. Like, where does grammar come into this? Where does the robot grammar impact any of this? Anyway, good show. Again, after we got to a certain point, it's kind of like they felt like they needed to wrap it up. Also, Gridman vibes, if you know, you know. But Gridman, that shit's really good. Anyway, I liked it. I thought it was good. I'm not crazy about it, I'll say. Sick flip flap, everybody. And yeah, let's roll back through and do a little bit of a relook on those 2 episodes. To be honest, I don't know if I'll have all that much to say. Because again, I think what we're getting at, like, there'll be no theories is my point. It's what we're getting at is purely like imagery and metaphor and that kind of stuff, because I think most of the other stuff is pretty straightforward. Anyway, I digress. We're going to have another look here. And there we have it, folks. Episodes 12 and 13 of Flip Flappers in the book. As I said during the ED, I'm probably falling around a 7 or an 8 out of 10 on the scale. It's a good show. It's a very good show. But do I feel like it hits the heights of some of the other stuff I've seen on the channel and within the genre? Probably not really. Again, this is going to sound very derogatory considering I don't hold a very high opinion of the show at all. It feels a lot to me like One Dag Priority, which is a show that, again, succeeds in individual episodes a lot more than the overall structure of what's going on and concluding itself and making it all fit nicely. Again, way better than that show in that regard, but I'm getting shades of it. Again, I still maintain that the One Dag Priority has really strong individual episodes, albeit the show is pretty terrible. That and being a production delight, and again, probably asking more questions than receiving answers, I would say. And again, it's not a one-to-one ask question, have to receive answer. I'm not that literal about it. I can kind of infer a few things. And again, my biggest question marks being Salt and Papaka's aging. So I think both of those get pretty well solved here, I would say. And it kind of justifies my opinion from last week as well, which was I thought they did too much in those 2 episodes. And again, they were dense. They were very, very dense with information to the point where there wasn't even a lot of information left to reveal in these 2 episodes. You know what I mean? It's kind of like if we spread some of these information in episodes 10 and 11 into both 8 and 9 and 11 and 12, if we just like take the middle and like spread it out more, I think you make a more consistently exciting finale, I would say. One with a bit more intrigue to it. Because again, when I'm walking in here and I'm saying, hey, we're going to do XYZ, and then XYZ happens, like we probably need a few more twists and turns there, at least to keep me entertained. But on the other end of the equation, production delight, yes, most certainly. I think the musical choices here are all very awesome. The animation overall has been amazing, exceptional. The fights were really, really good. I like the kind of revisiting of all these different locations within Pure Illusion and kind of that adding to this sense of wrapping up the show. I thought that was quite good. And again, overall hitting on this idea of the 2 sides of Mimi, I think that's strong too, and the kind of differences there, the ultimate personification of the 2 and reunification in that dark forest. I think that's got a lot of meaning in it too. As well as just kind of what Mimi, the bad Mimi, represents, I guess, right? Because again, people keep trying to like brush it away. No, this isn't Mimi, this isn't her, she wouldn't do this. No, this was absolutely a side of her. A side of her, when pushed to the nth degree, does indeed come out. And I like that we didn't just brush it away as some kind of evil phenomenon. No, this is a very real emotion that a very real mother would feel in this situation. And again, as I've said before, it's a continuing on, almost a cycle of the same emotions that forced her to be trapped in the first place, right? She is personifying, inadvertently, the things that she was so vehemently against back in the day, of being imprisoned and being used only for somebody else's gain and all these other things. She's now doing that to her own daughter, but again, that's only natural when that's the environment you've been brought up in. So again, looking beyond the surface level and looking for the kind of metaphor within there, I think is pretty fruitful. I think that stuff's well written. On the ridiculous end of the scale, I think the stuff they did with the robot was quite funny, as well as Scientist Guy, and I do love the bait and switch at the very end. I think that's pretty clever. And again, bringing the show full circle with that similar piece of animation where kind of Cocken is being surprised by Papaka on the pipe. Right? And again, as I do with a lot of these videos, I'll go back through here and I'll probably find things that I missed on the first run through that will increase my opinion of it overall as well. But yeah, I'm warm on it. I'm not hot on it, I would say, this kind of finale. But either way, let's dive back through here and see what we can see. Again, with the qualifier That, again, probably not going to be as long as the previous videos, I don't think. Because, again, there's less theories to craft, I guess. Again, we'll see. We start the episode with Yayika and Papika returning to this zone. This zone prompts kind of Papika to have a little bit of a revelation, right? Where she's like, this reminds me of the direct aftermath of the explosion, right? Where I was kind of sent off into a different direction and kind of trapped in this little prison cell here, right? I was then approached by a figure. It's unclear at this point if that figure is Mimi or Kokona. By the very end, we will find out it is indeed Kokona. But again, what's important here is this is Mimi's space, and this is what it kind of reminds her of, right? We'll see a little bit later on the literal moment where Mimi like explodes into like a million pieces and kind of opens up this realm. Again, confirming my theory that she sacrificed herself to make all the fragments and create all of the pure illusions, right? Which are numerous and infinite and everything else there in between, right? Again, that's kind of clever too, like infinite, like her love for her daughter as well. Again, like putting all this creativity into it. Yeah, I think that makes sense. So again, taking this to the nth degree, if this is now Mimi's world, the snow world is her world, right? Kind of, you can take that in some different directions. Why was that the first zone that both Papika and Kokona went to upon entering that pipe, right? It was a subconscious thing for the two of them thinking about Mimi. And again, probably you more so thinking about the times with Mimi and that kind of manifestation. I think you can draw a lot from that. As well as how is the world perceived? How is it personified? Well, it's like snowy. It's very, very snowy, right? Cold, dead, something akin to that. Like spring has sprung, summer has gone, autumn has set in, and now we're in the depths of winter, kind of in that metaphor. And we'll come through with the flowers, aka spring, when she springs back to life, or whatever else, right? Again, if flowers are her at her, like, height of her life, then snow is her when she's kind of, in hibernation, so to say. The snow itself, the white of the snow down here, is also like a look into her very white prison cell that Mimi was in back in the day when she was being experimented upon, right? She still kind of keeps a lot of that stuff on board. So I think that kind of stuff's pretty interesting. And again, the pure illusion is why we're here, and it's where we can draw a lot of the implications about other character stuff from. Now, the show stole my swag here. I was definitely going to bring this up. Why the boat? Why the gentle kind of drifting down the river? Why this, why that? Why no, like, kind of rudder or an oar on the boat or anything like that? Again, it's because this concept of drifting through life, right? When Kokona felt like she was drifting through life before any of this happened, that was an apt concept, and now it's even more apt. Now you got somebody there caressing you, letting you kind of drift mindlessly down the river, right? Again, you're not making any decisions in life, and we talk about this a little bit later, that kind of lack of courage, that need for a little extra push from somebody, right? Again, you're not providing that, or at least Mimi, this side of her, isn't providing that. And I think it's very easy for a simpleton to blame this side of Mimi and go, why doesn't she just let her daughter go? Is she stupid? Well, no, it's deeper than that. As I've said, personification of and trauma from what's happened in the past. Also personifying the villains of the past as well in doing so. Mimi here also proclaims that the whole world is her canvas now. We can see this playing out in the rest of the world. As we kind of mess more and more with pure illusion, the world itself gets more and more messed up. And again, I said a Dr. Seuss-esque way, which I think is a fun frame of reference. Quick check-in with our gang over here. I've got a variety of questions. One is, where the fuck are we? Two is, why the fuck is she just now on the good side? I think she just likes the robot. I think she thinks the robot's cool, and that overrided any emotion where she felt like she needed to take out these guys, right? Which it's hilarious. I think it's very funny. Is it good storytelling? Probably not, but does that even matter at this point? I don't know. And Salt himself, he's off to, he's off to find the Elpis, right? He calls it something else here. Asclepius box? Sure. I guess that's a scientific name. Yeah, he's going to try to put himself into pure illusion. Again, it's not exactly how it worked from the way it worked before. He has some scientific explanation for why it's working the way it's working. Again, it's not like it's real science. It makes sense for him to appear in pure illusion at that point to convince that other side of Mimi, right? To re-emerge and, make some decisions there within, and him atoning for his sins, as he keeps saying. Even this evil side of Mimi, I think Mimi's still kind of in there in a way as well. Her, she doesn't understand the, I guess it's a shortening of Tomodachi, which would be Dachi for pals. She doesn't understand that kind of that nomenclature. She's, again, sheltered. That's one of her major character traits, right? So seeing that still on display here is fun. Mimi is still there. Either way, Yayaka, Paprika, and Mimi are confronting here, and we're basically just laying the land. Mimi's going to continue to protect Kokona no matter what, and you guys want to free her from whatever else is happening, basically, and say your piece. Kokona's a very interesting one here too. I didn't realize it initially, but she's definitely in some kind of catatonic state where she can't really register what's even going on. I do like the facial expression. She can kind of almost see what's going on and almost see that somebody that she used to know is kind of like talking to her, but she's not quite there. Again, the eyes glazed over, very similar to the kind of general populace outside of this as well, is the obvious indicator there. I do like the decision later in the episode, or next episode, for the other side of Mimi to be that last push. I think that's very clever too. Like that actual motherly emotion coming through and personifying what Mimi said when she was kind of in the rain with Paprika back in the day, right? That kind of flashback that we failed to reveal initially. Another interpretation here could be this rage is it kind of Paprika making that same mistake that she's been making the entire time? Because Paprika basically, it's like, well, why are you here? Do you want to save Mimi or do you want to save Kokona? Then it's like, well, I want to save both. And again, that would enrage kind of the both of them in a way, right? Like, again, it's all about, they would read that as indecisive again, as conflating both Mimi and Kokona and not respecting either's individuality. So again, this could even be that Kokona, that same emotion coming through here in some way. Again, you don't value me as a person, you value Mimi as well, which again would enrage her. This effect here is fucking awesome. I love that we continue to use it. A lot of the visual design elements here are quite awesome, up to and including the black hole skirt from later on as well. I think that's very cool. Again, bringing that kind of childbirth as creation idea to the nth degree too, right? Where do children come from? And then conflate that with the creation of the world and then sucking the world back up. Again, a little bit. You can see what I'm getting at there. Yeah, I think that's very clever. What's also very clever is the use of the different pure illusions from various parts in the show, right? I think this is a great way to put a bow on the series. It's a great way to remind us of what's come before and all the good and bad moments there within. It helps that they have really unique visual identifiers as well, so I instantly know where we are. I instantly remember what was going on there and what the go with the world was. It helps when the early parts of the show are that memorable in that regard. It's using its episodic structure to its advantage during its conclusion. And yeah, turning on the action here a lot as well. Jumping, great posing, and the grabbing of this amorphous here, which will become very important to your transformation a little bit later on. I forget how Yuka's skill got in the bag, but I like his little journey over to become involved in the climax as well. If anything, I wish he was more involved overall. I think his character design when he joins Pure Illusion is fucking awesome. Also, because I was thinking about it again, this is just a PSA. You guys should watch SSSS Gridman. It's amazing, and the ending is spectacular. One of the better endings to anything I've ever seen. So, again, if you like this kind of concept, maybe check out that show too. I was rewatching this and I was umming and ahhing about keeping this scene in. What is it meant to display? Again, I forget the name of your character even. I know we revisit you by the end of episode 13. It's to, again, Salt has changed. That's what it's meant to show. He's putting the mission, right, behind his partner. He's putting his partner ahead of the mission is probably a better way to say that. Again, like he didn't do this in the past, and that directly led to all the bad things happening. This kind of pre-warns or conditions the audience to think of his atonement as his major motivation here, right? The old Salt wouldn't have put his body in the way here, would have just prioritized the mission. No, he genuinely cares about people now, and he's making decisions to kind of show off that. I don't know why it turns into a PowerPoint presentation here for a second. Like, why are we doing this? This is largely very odd. And then it's fine again. It's a weird way to display that. I wonder if there was some production issues there. But it's odd, because I wouldn't say there's any production issues with the rest of this. But again, I'm bad at spotting that kind of stuff anyway. I wish the twins had more to do. I kind of liked them as characters. I think their kind of bluntness in the dialogue was quite funny. And I was kind of warming to their relationship together as well. Yeah, no, they're just kind of... They finish off in a very brief way what they were supposed to do as characters, which was represent that we like each other more than we like working for our organization. We've broken out of the mold of being merely kind of clone children or amorphous children or whatever we're calling them, and that we're more than just our utility, right? We're not robots, we're actual people, and we can make decisions. This is in matching with a lot of the rest of the content around Cockner in the episodes as well. Again, I just think it's very brief. They knew what they had to do, and they did it very quickly. As soon as I saw this background, I was reminded of there's better episodes. I like the Cry episode, the one with Iraha and all that kind of stuff. A bit better than this episode, but this episode's still really good. I was reminded of that moment during the show, and I instantly thought about the main villain of this area, which we revisit in a lot of detail, this time putting Yayaka in the major seat here. So again, this character, beyond being just a little bit horny, if I can find her actually, there she is. But beyond just being a little bit horny, she talks to the deepest, darkest emotions of whoever she's talking to. She gets in their head, and her dialogue directly against Yayaka here is, again, reflecting her dialogue for Kokona during episode 3, right? Doing that kind of psychoanalysis on Yayaka and seeing if she's actually changed. This coinciding with the exact moment that she finally decides to do flip-flapping and transform into all that kind of stuff is quite fantastic. We must remember as well, Yayaka was the one that ultimately took out this beast the first time too. But again, with the assistance of the twins. Are you really anything without them? Are you going to rely on them for their strength, or you for your individual strength, you know? Now, was this kind of hair structure present in episode 3? Because it's the same stuff that shows its head in that kind of Yayaka episode in episode 9, right? Because if it is, it has kind of implications. You know what I mean? This kind of hair fortress stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like, odd. I don't know what we're trying to say there. Like, is that binding more Mimi stuff? No, it's definitely you. You're definitely, like, controlling it. So you've got, like, that side, but you've also got these darker tentacles as well. Odd. And again, if anybody has further information there, I'm all ears. Again, see what I mean? Like there's this stuff over here binding her, and there's this stuff over here binding you. Is Mimi responsible for some of this or something? I don't know. Or maybe they're just reusing design elements because they can, and they're allowed to. Yeah, this is what I was talking about before. Again, really getting into Yayaka's head here. Do you really need all 3 of them for little old me? You're nothing without them. You're nothing without the organization behind you. You going out on your own is a bad idea. You should have trusted in where you belong instead of your own individuality, linking that into a lot of the themes present in the episode. Very, very clever. I think it's very good. Again, they threw you out like the trash, right? You know, you have nowhere where you belong now. That was your one and only place where that happened, and now you don't have that. And again, in that episode 3, Kokona, you're empty. You've got nothing to you. You're not courageous enough to do this on your own. All these things that she was spitting at her, right? Again, getting at those insecurities. I'm not going to dwell on this any much longer with the twins. This guy shows back up. Treat me instead of your brother. How about no? Fuck off. Just tells him to shut up. Based. And again, the perfect thing that the characters should do at this time is particularly subtle or artful. No, but it gets the job done, I would say. I think the placement in the show for that scene is really good, as Yayaka just made her kind of final stand there, sacrificing herself, pulling a bomb, so to say, and blowing up that kind of demon lady. Yeah, she's willing to sacrifice her own life and her own health in the hopes of saving Kokona. These twins are kind of channeling Yayaka's kind of personality through that too. I think that's pretty clever. And again, I predicted this from a long way out. You were in the show for a redemption arc. That redemption arc would be signified ultimately by a transformation sequence as well. Again, moving away from a lot of the roboticism, military-esque stuff that you had with the organization, and moving more towards this creative, individualistic, personality-driven stuff with the transformation sequence, right? Away from mech stuff towards magical girl stuff. Sounds like makes sense. I think it makes sense. And again, the amorphous being used here in that regard too. Again, talking about it from my admittedly limited viewpoint of the love triangle here at play, this is absolutely brutal. Yayaka must think about what you treasure most, that being her friendship with Kokona, and then ultimately getting third wheeled by the very end because, of course, you did. That's kind of brutal. Again, you're just hanging out with the rabbit while Papaka and Kokona are flying through the sky like, you know, lovers, soulmates. Sucks to be you. Anyway, she has her moment here, which is nice. And again, instead of thinking about how you used to belong to the organization, think about where that real belonging was, where I was truly valued, that true, real friendship that I had with Kokona. That's what I really, really treasured the entire time. Again, of course, it may have started on false pretenses, but it turned into something real, as I've gone into a number of times with this character. I think that's just lovely. In that way, the timing of the entire conflict during 10 and 11 is very important too. We need to make sure to make all these kind of actions justifiable. We need to make Kokona's betrayal feel palpable in those 2 episodes, right? How she feels betrayed by these other 2, right? Again, part of her is in the actions of this Mimi as well. Part of her protectiveness of herself, of being betrayed, is being personified through that as well, I feel. So, like, that betrayal and that lying there, being that close and that raw still, is important in the drive of this particular part of the story. And yeah, these kind of subtle moments of breaking through it all, and again, seeing a transformation sequence for Yayuka kind of play out here and start to occur, and that kind of facial expression change for Kokona in that regard, just ever so slightly, is like her breaking the curse. And again, the sequence is just awesome. It's not the best transformation sequence in these 2 episodes. There's another which I preferred, but again, they're just really, really good. In kind of contrast to her, I guess you would call it combination sequence, or whatever you call them in those kind of shows, where they were combining all the robots in episode 8. She seems noticeably less embarrassed this time and kind of owning it a little bit more. Again, great progression for her character. Now, I wanted to go back and check what color are Yayuka's eyes the entire time. No, they're like blue. I thought maybe the green would play into it a little bit more somewhere, but I guess you got some blue streaks, kind of. And again, don't trust me on any of this stuff because I am colorblind, very colorblind. And of course, playing that music, this being like kind of her triumphant moment at this kind of mid-episode point where she gets to pop off and kill the guy. Particular shoutouts to the animation here and the use of almost like a soccer ball motif. She's broadly been a sporty character, I would say, sometimes. So yeah, bringing this stuff in is very, very cool, even though my dumb camera's in the way. Look at that, it's fucking awesome. That's like background material. Look, she's just cool. I don't know. I like cool characters. Her face is still like, it's definitely still like Yayuka in there under the design. Back with our gang of merry rejects over here, we have Salt continuing to infiltrate the base to try to find the Elpis. Again, what has happened here is interesting now that I know everything going on. Again, I'm largely associating the snow and these kind of like animals here, whatever they were. The hoarfrost from episode 1, I remember. I'm associating that with Kokona, or Mimi broadly, right? So Mimi is trying to block Salt metaphorically from re-entering this old thing again, trying to encase this old building, trying to take it out even more. Again, one, because she wants to take out her kind of stuff on the building itself and what it represents. You can kind of see the flowers breaking through here as a result as well. But again, also stopping Salt from trying to fix the thing too. I don't want to see you. I resent you for your decisions made in the past. All that kind of stuff being presented through this kind of real-world pure illusion combo. Again, I really like how this adds a layer of depth to episode 1, which was not present on the first watch through, I would say. And yeah, for their side of the story, they need to find this place to get in over here. So they need to find a gap, basically. We need to block the way. And Hidaka in that regard has the best way to do this. Okay, there's a number of things I really like here. Obviously, it's just ridiculous. We're taking the fucking pervert bot. We're using a satellite from space called MUSCLE, muscle, if you didn't know. We're going to use that to upgrade the robot and turn it into like a jacked guy, and he's going to like push the thing out of the way ever so slightly for Salt to be able to get in. That's awesome. I also really, really like how we're pairing that with a character design change for Hidaka. So in the same way that the robot went from this meek, weird-looking thing to a super buff guy, he's going from this stereotypical swirly glasses nerd character to this hot guy with hot eyes, right? Again, we had this hidden strength that wasn't known to the audience. Again, that kind of unification between the robot and Hidaka as characters, which again, as I theorize, was largely present in episode 8 as well. Very, very well done. It's very good. Hilarious, very fun, and also adds to another transformation sequence in the episode. Even this symbol here, it's like the male symbol plus like, it looks like an anchor. Is he in the Navy or something? Is that what we're trying to get across? I was seeing kind of like Popeye vibes. Like this kind of comes out like spinach would for Popeye, and then he gets strong. I think there's something in that too. Kind of his muscles being brain tissue is a great character design trait as well. But again, still a nerd at heart, noting all of the stat increases, D&D style, and so forth. Yeah, just fun stuff. The voice is slightly lower too. Again, it seems like the robot fails, like the robot always fails and everything, but it is enough for Salt to infiltrate. Mimi and the girls get to talking there briefly. Essentially, Mimi's not going to give her up. The girls want Coconut. It's pretty obvious stuff. Again, would you drag a mother away from her child? See, it's a difficult one. I really like this as a visual design element too, right? Mind the house while I'm away. Mum needs to leave for a while and go sort out these baddies. In that same way, we're imprisoning Coconut the same way we imprisoned Paprika at the very start of the episode, right? Built this kind of nature fortress around her. So again, a prison cell largely personifying good traits, right? A prison of creativity, one may say, which again is what I'm saying Mimi has been doing to Coconut, basically, this 2-episode chunk. Yeah, I'm going to imprison you in a world that's broadly got concepts we've associated with good in the show thus far. What I'll also note as well is this is the kind of continuation of the dark forest motif we've had for a lot of the show, as represented by that painting, which Iroha was kind of obsessed with as well, right? On the surface, it may look scary, but it's also got its own sense of alluring to it, right? It may seem scary, but it's also adventure. Again, personifying a lot of the pure illusion and stepping out into the world stuff, which I think the show's trying to get across with Coconut. Very, very clever. Yayaka is definitely the star of the action in this portion of the episode. This is, again, her chance to pop off. Lots of green, colourful streaks across the screen. Lots of fun action. The camera work here is quite good, too. There's some shots which linger on Coconut, right? And her almost like facial expressions starting to change somewhat upon seeing these two fighting so strongly for her, right? This prompts Yayaka to be like, okay, I'm going to play the distraction. You go for the real prize in all of this. I'm going to distract the monster. You go and save Coconut. Again, there's your opening. You must take that opening. I thought to take out the robot here, but as we see, Paprika's over here already rushing over to the tree. And again, it seems like they're going to touch hands before Mum pops in the way again. This leads to probably the most direct conversation about the drama at hand, I would say. Paprika pleads for, Mimi to let her go. But Mimi counters here. She's like, this world, and the world outside of my prison cell, so to say, has been so very unkind to us, right? They've kept me imprisoned. They've done this. They've basically kept strings on me the entire time because of my inherent worth and my talent. That's bad. I don't want that to happen to my daughter either. I want to protect her from that kind of stuff. The world outside isn't good for her. You people can't be good for her because everything up to this point in my life has been bad for me. I don't have any evidence that there's good in this world, right? What else is a mother supposed to do? Breaking down in tears here. Just let her suffer? But again, in that grand kind of Evangelion way, part of human experience is that suffering and overcoming it and growing from that. And this kind of lulled state of just kind of being here is nothing. It's not what the human experience is about. And letting her experience those things as a mother is hard to do, but ultimately necessary. And this is when ultimately it gets really vindictive from Mimi. So we have this flashback here where Paprika is kind of listening to Coconut kick in the belly and do all that kind of stuff, right? What will you name her? I've already got a name decided for her. We start a scene there of like, you know what I'm going to do once she's born? This is Mimi back in the past saying this, right? Paprika's going to remind her of that before she literally gets fucking mind controlled by the bad side of Mimi. Like literally changing her best friend's memories to remove a scene that would be irrefutable evidence against her. Now that's pretty evil. But again, as I've said, the evil can be justified pretty easily. I don't blame Mimi at all in this kind of situation. I do love how freaky it is, like replacing the memory here and like reframing this scene. I think, yeah, very, very interesting, right? Willing to lie and obfuscate the truth and change memories in order to help your selfish gain. Again, because of your change of personality, you're snapping upon what happened after this point. Yeah, interesting one to talk about. So yeah, it seems like all hope is lost. Paprika's lost the juice. You're berating her. And then we hear a voice very close in the audio mix, right? And this was initially confusing for me. It's a conversation in the jail cell between the other half of Mimi and Coconut. But again, this is also an internal conversation just for Coconut as well, right? Does that make any sense? Like, she's also racking with these opinions within her own kind of catatonic state. right? It's like kind of this pause in the action is what this represents too. Kokona starts to bring up some of the negative aspects that she perceives about her personality, right? You wanted to do this for me because I'm too indecisive, right? I never make choices about my career. I never wanted to go on adventures. I only went because Papaka was the one dragging me along. It's a lot of this kind of episode 4 stuff that she was thinking about. I'm kind of useless in that regard. And then Mum reframes it. It's not that you're useless and can't make those choices. It's just that you need that tiny bit of courage. You need somebody there just to give you a little push, and then you can do amazing things. And yeah, these feelings are nothing out of the ordinary as well. People do need these little pushes sometimes to do amazing things. You can't exist purely on your own, and you can't put the entire kind of credit of something upon somebody else for giving you that push. You still went and did it. You can thank people and that kind of stuff. What I'm saying is it isn't Papaka being the sole one responsible for you being amazing and going on these adventures. It's you as well. You're a huge part of that. So therefore, you must choose for yourself the world you want to be a part of. Remember that it's very, very natural to feel some hesitance at a time like this. I felt it at times. Your father's felt it at times. Now pick the world you want. And again, she kind of regains consciousness here. Her eyes light up and she calls out for Papaka. She's made her decision. And even Papaka, who's kind of in like, she's kind of like drooling. She's kind of like fucked in the brain right now. She has a little visit from the real Mimi as well, where Mimi like pops through and says, please remember what I actually wished for. I love the choice of scene here and the choice of kind of delusion where Mimi is kind of transporting this information through. It's that scene where she was first allowed outside, where Salt gave her the little tiara. It was this first time that they went to pure illusion, you know? Very, very important and formative scene for Papaka. Then we finally get those words, the actual memory. You could argue that this is too quick of a turnaround to change somebody's memories and then remind them of said memories. I would say it is, but it still works. It works ultimately. Again, I want her to choose her own path. Make sure that you allow her to do that. This is what inspires Papaka to jump in and save Kokona in this situation as well. I want her to have the freedom that I never had. That is the big motivator here. And again, this moment of impotence between these two. I want to get out and live the life I never had. I've always loved Kokona over this side. I wanted to save her from the situation and give her the freedom that Mimi never had, right? And again, this kind of uniting of the emotion of wanting to free Kokona and give her the freedom that her mother never had for the two of them is what ultimately leads to the increase in impotence and the kind of the transformations here, the new form. And it feels like everything failed here for but a moment because Mum pulls away the transformation. So, oh no, we don't have powers anymore. But no, the power comes from internally as well. We must remember that. It comes from inside of us. She doesn't control all of this. We have some ability to do this as well. That's how strong our bond and relationship is. Almost some kind of you know the painting where like gods touching the finger of the mortal? That has a name. I'll look it up in editing. It's kind of like that vibes too. And again, love their costume changes here. Very Symphogear, as I talked about before. Specifically loving the presence of the crown/tiara up here, reminding again of that first moment of pure illusion for Mimi, right? It's calling back to that kind of side of the mother, which I love. The flowers over here too, very, very sleek, very nice. You can see what they're doing there. Of course, the butterfly conceit now makes a lot of sense too with the flower stuff. I didn't really mention this, but they kind of pollinate the flowers, so to say. So again, one being kind of flower-based in Mimi and one being kind of butterfly-based in the other side, being Papaka, now makes their relationship make a lot of sense. Symbiotic. And again, this leading to the conclusion of episode 12, these two going off to fight the demon or whatever. Yeah, isn't that just sweet? Alright, let's continue episode 13. Now, starting here, we have a flashback, right? This is the immediate aftermath of the explosion which Mimi tried to do with Kokona, right? At the last moment, Mimi hands Kokona over to Papaka, right? Where Mimi then explodes into all of the different Amorphous and all the different Pure Illusion and all that kind of stuff. This led to a situation by which Papaka, like, there's like a plant there, which turns into a like tree prison, and she also de-ages in the process to like a very little kid. Now again, this is like a metaphorical prison, but it's also like a real prison. So it's weird, right? I'd imagine that Papaka is now trapped within pure illusion. Again, this same fog that's kind of personified this dream sequence for Kokona, right? So when Kokona visits Paprika, I'm going to imagine it's kind of like a dreamy thing as well. The tree here also symbolic of that rebirth, of that new life, right? Growing from a small sapling into something large, that coinciding with Paprika growing from an old lady into like a little kid, or shrinking, I should say. There's something in that, I would say. So then Paprika's like a prison baby for a very, very long time, as kind of seen here on the wall. She has like a bunch of scratches, so she's been here a while. She is then visited by a young Kokona, I'm going to imagine within her dreams, right? I don't know when you eventually get freed, and I don't know where Kokona is right now. I guess the tree prison stuff happened for Paprika, and Kokona went back to the real world, but was only ever in the possession of the evil guys, and Salt also didn't know that. Something like that. If anybody can put this scene here and connect it to the start of the show, that would be very, very nice for me. I'm still confused broadly on the concept. But again, this explains the aging thing. This explains the prison over here. This explains the kind of prison break motif upon the start of the show. I like that as a concept after this, and kind of rushing out and trying to find that Kokona, trying to find her partner, so to say. I like this for explaining why Paprika is the way she is, I guess. Should we talk about the age gap stuff now and how it's kind of weird? Because Paprika is technically like 45, kind of. Again, maybe that's being a little bit too pearl clutchy about the whole thing too. Either way, Paprika's just going to be Paprika the entire time. She's still very hungry. And yeah, this kind of fated meeting, you don't really know what's going on here anymore, but you want to be friends with this person. That progressing through the rest of the show, that kind of being that destined friendship between these two that continues even after the show's events. And again, making that first friend, that first real connection outside of that connection with her mother as well. Her first friend, even if it's in a dream. Well, maybe not, because her first friend's actually probably Yayaka, if we're getting timeline stuff right. Because I'm imagining this is Kokona in a dream right now or something. So yeah, from that scene where they're kind of embracing in the past to this scene where they've come all the way to here now and are besties, it's great to see. It's good character progression stuff. Hope you guys are ready for fights, because we're going to fight here for a little bit. Paprika and Kokona beating up their fucking like puppet guys respectively, and I do like the twist by the very end of this, of them kind of regenning. Also, pretty obvious Kill la Kill reference? Thoughts? I think so. It's very crayon-y type style, very befitting of the art style of Flip Flappers as well, I would say. Very cool. Pastel-y, almost like Iraha's work too. I'm giving out a lot of recommendations today, but watch Kill la Kill as well. It's fantastic. I can't imagine that you're watching this and you haven't seen it, but if you exist, please do. Please watch Kill la Kill. Does anybody else want to explain this reptilian type thing in the fucking sharp mouth and that kind of stuff too? Is there anything in that? I don't know. Like, I'm trying to see where like a vengeful, scornful mother would kind of tap into that as a character design. Snake-esque? Crocodile-esque? Yeah, what are we trying to say there? Unsure. It's cool though, and yeah, adds to the kind of ratcheting drama and tension of the episode, right? As Mum gets stronger and stronger and stronger. Yeah, really, really strong animation through this section as well, obviously. Again, I'd love... This reminds me of a certain artist's style, but I guess it's been present in the rest of the show too, now that I think about it. I guess it shows the twisting of the motherly love too, to the point where she's forgotten what the point was even in the first place. She is now actively trying to hurt her friends, Kokona's friends, and Kokona herself. One of these kind of skull-mouthed guys bites Kokona's leg. I thought this was to protect her. Why are you hurting her in the process? Again, you've lost sight of yourself. Now, this is the kind of stuff I like. Yeah, kind of the twisting of the world and all the different pure illusions into one kind of amorphous blob type space, and kind of twisting the city as in the process. I think that's quite clever. Yeah, the disparate visual elements here of kind of children's games and fruit and cats and lips in the sky, and still some semblance of the cabin that was there before, the rocking horse. Again, I'm seeing like it's got this childlike whimsy, toy type energy to it, but it's also largely very dangerous too. It feels like it's melting. It's got a little bit of kind of that surrealist edge to it, a little bit of the Scream, a little bit of Salvador Dali to it as well, I would say. Yeah, it's a cool, eclectic mix of stuff. Very, very impressive visually. I love it. Yeah, just like a crazy frame. I remember these masks in the background. They're now twisting into something else. All the computers and that kind of stuff. It's like shifting the world. Would not be surprised if there's more overt art references here too. I really think this background's quite striking. I wouldn't be surprised if it's another different piece too. I did mention Salvador Dali as well over there. Got a melting clock. Think about it, guys. Crazy. I do like the stupid robot doing one last good thing and like nuking himself and making a hole for us to get through to get to Salt as well. I think that's a good use of his time. Yeah, just actually being able to pause and check these backgrounds is cool. What is this like fucking swan guy? Tent guy? It's like a changing room on top of a swan. What the fuck? It's cool. I guess continuing your stuff as well, you now save your little sister, so to say. Because again, you're all lab maybe, so you're not real brother or sister or anything, but you're living that concept still, like you are, right? Like you are siblings. So yeah, fun moment for her as well. Just continuing the redemption stuff. It's good. Yeah, this is, look at the flowers here that were already part of the space. Got like a weird like tablecloth or shower curtain over here. We're flipping eggs. We're cooking something. There's fucking jelly beans, lily pads. The lily pads are part of Thingo's Pure Illusion, the scientist guy from the flashback. Yeah. That's cool. Again, combining all this different shit, you know? What is the bowling pin fucking tuba place? I don't know. It's something. It looks cool. Sticky notes up here too, like sciencey stuff too. And we finally catch up with Salt as well. He's putting himself into the machine. He's going to jump into Pure Illusion and talk to... He's going to atone for his sins, so to say. There is something really abstract and artistic about this, because even if I don't think the concepts are fully explored to the level they could be in a more realistic setting, using this kind of abstract stuff to talk about a strained relationship between a daughter and a mother is still quite interesting. So in that way, I don't know what the crocodile is signifying, right? But it's still evocative. I'm still feeling something from it. This kind of really, this really vicious look at a mother's love twisted to become restrictive for a daughter. And again, ultimately that's relatable. Again, I'm not relating to my mother turning into a crocodile, but I can relate to that emotion a little bit. Yeah, that's pretty cool. The mother's hair reaching out into hands and grasping the daughter, but ultimately strangling her and crushing her in the process. That mother's love that used to caress now becoming violent. And again, the daughter lashing out as a result. And then gaslighting her too. You've raised your hands against me. No, you raised your hands against me when you tried to smother me, you know? Yeah, again, really fun look at an abstract kind of demonstration of a concept that's pretty real. Mum then fully takes over Pure Illusion. Turns it into like kind of that dark forest motif, right? We've got to go back and look at that scene about the dark forest from episode 2 or 3 or whatever it was, right? Where again, it's scary, but there's something else to it as well. It looks kind of alluring. Despite being scary, there's value to it, you know? That's what we're trying to get across here. Again, that being so very evocative for Cockner from very early in the show is quite a nice touch. I'm loving how that's coming back around. And again, just as it looks like kind of Mimi's taking control, we hear kind of this microphone breakout, this kind of microphone feedback, and Salt is here. He's infiltrated Pure Illusion, and he's bringing his kind of monochrome to it all as well. Again, I theorize that Cockner is the combination of the personality traits of both Salt and Mimi, right? You know, her two parents, she's the combination of both. This is that kind of juxtaposition given image. You're black and white. I'm all colorful. You kill the flowers around you. I create the flowers. Again, it seems like we would be mortal enemies, but actually we combine to make something greater than the sum of our parts, you know? Again, taking all the life and creativity out of the world is Salt. Yeah, I love it. Love this here too. So ultimately Salt is here to atone, right? This character feels like she needs to stop that and open it up because Salt is in pain. But no. I'm stopping you. And what we see very present here is the stigmata as well, the one that was plunged into his hand by Mimi during episode 11. Again, I don't need to lay this out for you, but I will. It's a representation of a sacrifice, an original sacrifice, right? For everybody else. It's a selfless action. That's what this means to represent. And again, putting his own life on the line to prove what he thinks is correct. And again, invoking Jesus in doing so. Atonement for his own sins as well as the atonement of the sins of others, the sins of the father. Yeah, very, very clever. Like it. And Mimi justifiably has like a bit of a tantrum here. You're the one that made this the way it was. If you didn't make the decisions you made, I wouldn't have to go this hard now. You're the one that ruined everything. Go away forever. But again, this is only one part of Mimi. The other part is very, very, very willing to protect him. As we can see here, this kind of barrier around him. I'm standing with him on this side. We've finally also broken down the veneer of Salt as well. He puts up a tough exterior, and he was willing to put that exterior on the line for what he believed in this time. He was ready to bear it all. That's what this represents. And at that time, when he's trying to atone, the real Mimi returns once again and inspires him for doing so, right? And again, very characterful here too, right? All the different faces kind of going from here to the pout, to this, to the eyes. Fantastic. Very, very well animated. The world itself starts to shatter as the evil Mimi starts to take hold even more. Yayaka falls and is saved by Yuka's skill, which is awesome. Love this guy. Shoutouts the rabbit guy. I've talked about this already. Paprika says you're not Mimi if you believe this. No. This is still a side of her that you didn't get to see. If you're the Mimi that would make Kokona sad, then I hate you. Well, you don't understand. Both of you don't understand. And Mum says, oh, if you want to play it that way, we'll go nuclear. I'll destroy everything and start over. I'm going to destroy the universe. Let's start. Let's go. And then we can start the universe all over again, where I'm the sole creator of everything. And then my daughter can actually be safe. So again, I'm going to destroy the world in saving my daughter. That doesn't sound very good. And yeah, really awesome moment here where she turns those words that have been used as our kind of power words, our transformation words, into something far more sinister. She goes like, you know the words, flip-flapping. And this is when we get our evil transformation sequence. Now again, spoilers for Symphogear. There's a number of these in Symphogear too, and they're fucking awesome. They're so good every time. And yeah, I love the evilness of it all. Character design wise, we've got some some darker colors as opposed to our lighter colors, combined with the reds, combined with deeper, darker blues that don't look as inviting, a dead purple on the wings, spiky design, very like barbed wire down here. Just fan-fucking-tastic. So slay. And again, kind of that inversion of the costumes of the others, considering how opposite their ideals are. Even some kind of snake scales or the crocodile scales in the background here coming into part of the aesthetic. Very, very fun. Those eyes even a deeper red now, or more passionate red, as she's achieved her full power. Love it. It's glorious. It's delicious. It's everything. Action here ensues. Our two heroes try to punch the evil lady, but she's not having it. And yeah, her pussy turns into a black hole, which again is her prerogative to do so, I guess. Again, I've already talked about how I think that's a really fun concept of kind of the rebirth of the universe, so to say. Very fun. Again, Kokona is my entire universe as well. I'll leave it there. Even part of it sapping at Salt's energy too. But again, the real Mimi giving him some comfort in this time too. And yeah, this is where I feel like we get a little bit rote. It feels like we need to hit this step, this step, this step, this step to finish the show, and it feels less organic and more structured in a way that I don't really like. This is the part of the story where the characters need to make this kind of final proclamation. So that's what they're going to do. And again, it's like complaining about a ham sandwich being a ham sandwich. But I don't know. When the rest of the time I had really creative ham sandwiches, if you just give me a ham sandwich, I'm going to be kind of disappointed. I don't know. It's a weird one. This proclamation from Kokona is something to the effect of, I used to just coast through life. You were the one that took me by the hands and pulled me off the boat, the metaphorical boat, where I was just drifting, and showed me the power of pure illusion, the power of creativity. And I've had a good time over our past few encounters. It's been really fun. In that way, you've kickstarted my life. But in that way, Kokona, you're also the personification of the kickstarting of my life as well, and the release from that prison at the very start of the episode too. You've saved me more times than you know, and your mother did as well. You and your family are so very important to me as well. I wanted to go adventuring with you. I wanted to be your friend. I knew it had to be you. None of this Mimi business. You instead. And again, the two here, they should just smooch. They're telling each other that they love each other and stuff. And again, of course, as tradition with the show, uniting on this opinion of loving each other, loving each other, and that being that final thrust that allows them to win the day. And again, I'm squinting, I'm putting on the goggles, and I'm seeing this as a pseudo-confession as well. You don't say, I love you, and then say, I want to go on many, many more adventures with you without it carrying certain implications. They're basically getting married right now in front of us. Like the all white that both are wearing as well. Again, read into it however you will. And again, the two holding hands, creating a holy union between the two, even potentially Symphogear style as well, holding hands and turning into a giant fucking beam. The two of them sparkling and shining together, even a little bit of a rainbow type look up here into the darkness to explode it away. And again, the combination and the kind of twisting of their love together, and that kind of explosion from there being enough to break everything, being enough to even destroy a black hole, something that cannot be destroyed by kind of conventional science the way I understand it. Like, you can't do anything in there, and their love was enough to break it, which is fucking crazy. And after that explosion, we're left back in that same old painting, that painting that was hanging on the wall, that dark, scary forest, where again Mum is forced on some self-reflection. The one at fault was, let us go back and relive those days spent eagerly awaiting our daughter's birth. Finally, again, that reunification of Mimi in that pond, becoming one again, and the girl's watching along. We fixed Mum, she's back. But again, at that same point in time, this is also the shattering of pure illusion as we know it, and what this world here that we're in represents. So get out of here before it all falls apart, basically. Very important moment here for Salt as well during the very last bit. So Salt is a character that is racked with guilt because of the decisions of the past, which is forcing him to do the stuff in the now. Wouldn't it be easy to go back to the past right now and not do any of the things that I did? Wouldn't it be easy to have the good life and do all that kind of stuff? But no, he recognizes that the discoveries he's made and the progress that he's made as a human and as a character through the course of the events of the show outweighs any real perfect life that he could have. In that way, this is also a microcosm of what the bad Mimi was getting at, right? And being against that. I don't want a world that's made that's exactly correct for me, that has no friction, that somebody else is entirely in control of, right? I want to take control of my own destiny and do my own thing, and potentially even sometimes make grave mistakes. It's a powerful message to keep on living in despite of everything else, and not just taking the easy way out and going back and fixing everything. In that way, instead of shooting himself, he shoots himself. You know, I shoot the idea of doing that. In shooting his younger self, he is punishing his younger self for making those decisions, but he's also removing the chance to go back and rectify those decisions in the process. It's kind of multi-layered there. Again, whilst I have misgivings about this, I still ultimately don't want to go back and experience it again. And as we see in the end of the show, he's just living now. He's just chill, and he's smiling. It's the first time we see Bro smiling in basically forever. Again, it's not much, and it's very, very quick. Feels a lot like the twins stuff as well. Feels very, this is the way that this should go and let's do it in 2 seconds. But it's poignant. It's really, really good. Also, again, I would be remiss to not mention the scene where he had the gun against Mimi's head in episode 11 as well and couldn't pull the trigger. Again, she did nothing wrong at that time, but I certainly did. Again, that kind of change in the decision point there. Finally looking him in the eyes as well, not hiding behind the glasses. I vowed never to let myself forget my mistakes. His reward for this, of course, is heading back to reality and having his final tearful goodbye with Mimi. Again, growing out of that flower metaphorically there as well, which is fun. And again, continuing to repent even to his last moment here, being comforted by Mimi. Speaking of tearful goodbyes, we also get one for Papaka, Kokona, and Mimi, right? Where Mimi's going to make sure that they get out and that kind of stuff, and, you know, you can't really bear the fact that you're never going to see your mother again. Again, you lacked that kind of guidance and somebody to push you on in that way. In that way, now that I'm seeing this, Papaka's actions in the show almost personifying that of a mother-type character, right? Being that push that she needed. Personifying what Kokona, or what Mimi would have wanted for Kokona, excuse me. And again, I'm not going anywhere. Pure illusion is infinite and continuous, as is kind of... She's saying her mother's dying, right? This is kind of looking through the artifice of the creativity of what's going on. But again, you'll see me in every other thing in almost creative mediums. Does that make any sense? Like, you will see aspects of me in other times in your life and you'll be like, oh, that's Mum. So again, go forth with your head held high, knowing that I'm still watching you and observing you through all these different things. Again, pretty poignant. I'll always be watching over you through these different kind of avenues, so to say. And yeah, this is kind of cold. We're going to imprison you right at this last moment. Instead of rushing over to see Mum, I'm going to leave you in here. Where Papaka's just going to go and leave, put you in a bubble. I'm going to go leave and chill with Mum for a bit and say my final goodbye. Then here's the bait and switch. I think I remember this shot very early in the show as well, of kind of Kokona sleeping on a bed. which is odd. So, okay, this is my read. As we learn by the very end of this scene, this is a very normal world that is also a pure illusion. I'm seeing this as a final look into actually Kokkona's real pure illusion. This is what Kokkona's fantasy is like. It is abundantly normal. Abundantly normal, right? Again, even more normal than our normal reality in the show, which is kind of animeified. Again, our uniforms are more simple. I have like movie posters over everywhere instead of this kind of creative setting that we live in, right? The color palette and the grayscale have come into everything and that kind of thing, right? The things that used to just be regular commonplace in pure illusion are now just fantasy, relegated to posters on a wall, right? Nobody knows how to enter pure illusion anymore. We're stuck. So yeah, we don't know for sure yet, but it seems like we can't get back into pure illusion. Everything's all shattered and stuff. Everything needs to be rebuilt. Which again, you could read into that as a look into Kokkona's mind as well, right? It's kind of shattered and fucked up by recent events and is in the rebuilding phase. She goes to the specific elevator and the code doesn't work anymore. Again, this world is mundane instead. This is a world without robots. We see Hidaka here. The robot has become part of his headdress instead, and he is being treated as a loon for his beliefs, right? Hands off the powerful PC currently monitoring pure illusion, of course. And again, just looks like a psycho. He looks like a conspiracy theorist, weirdo kind of guy. So again, I don't want to associate with this guy anymore. He seems fucking weird. If nobody knows what pure illusion is, then of course he's going to be ostracized. Again, I already noted the uniforms, but it's important to see Yayaka here as well. That even kind of sporty uniform she has is quite mundane as well. The outside of the school, as seen here too, very mundane. Looks very realistic almost. Look at how they've massacred Yuka's skill as well. Yeah, he's just like a normal rabbit now, I don't know. It's very cute though. Again, in this world we've lost the Amorphous, we lost the ability to enter pure illusion, the twins can't even help. We don't even know what's going on. Again, this is when, almost at a last resort type area, I'm going to go to the place where we first entered pure illusion, that Thomason pipe out in the woods, where again, that scar is gone, where the Amorphous used to be, I can no longer enter pure illusion. This whole thing is fucked. And then, yeah, we're playing off the first episode here. Paprika's just kind of watching you, unbeknownst to you, and it's going to scare you. But again, this one has really good implications because we thought Paprika was fucking dead and lost forever. And of course she's got some stupid excuse for it as well. I got separated, so I stayed with Mimi for a bit. We've just been chatting and having snacks and stuff. So again, my perception here is what happened is she disappeared, but then in the process of disappearing and going through that portal, she also made that conscious decision instead of just floating away, taking on some personal responsibility here and shattering the whole entire thing. Again, this world being replaced with your pure illusion instead. And again, we come to find that from this giant butterfly flying overhead in the clouds. This indeed is pure illusion. It may look very mundane on the surface, but hey, this is what your pure illusion is like. And yeah, let's head back. Everything's going to be right again. And then yeah, happy-go-lucky ending here ensues, where the two of them both transform, Mimi seeing them off for a final time from that pipe. Yeah, kind of like the girls observing Mum in the pond. Mum is now observing the girls flying away. I'm proud of you two. Go on and live in my memory and stuff. I'm going to do the lyrics first as well, as I've been doing with these kind of things, and then going back and doing the visuals and the dialogue after the fact. Say, do you think we could go again? The two of us, our hands intertwined. The key to unlock the door is surely between our palms. Holding hands? Symphogear? Kinda. Yeah, it seems to be a duet, the song is as well, which is very fitting. The fragments of that key found their way out from inside a tiny box. So let's search far and wide for them in places where many colors overlap and swirl. Very sweet. Over the rainbow, way up in the sky. Yeah, that's fun. Invoking a little bit of Wizard of Oz there. The expanding gradation? What the hell is a gradation? Weird. This light rippling into waves, climb aboard with me and let it guide us. There won't be any mysteries in our eyes. We're in a world where all things are illusion. Yeah, really cute ending song. Obviously bringing up that kind of concept of pure illusion by the very end there as well. Even if it doesn't kind of make sense, it kind of makes sense. Kind of that weird kind of oxymoron to it all. And yeah, the two girls personifying their own unique personality traits. You're a bit of a stick in the mud and you're the optimist and that kind of thing, right? They're back to being themselves, right? And they're really confident in doing so. Flying with butterfly wings, along with the rest of the butterflies out of this pure illusion and back into the real world. And yeah, the butterflies are beautiful. The butterflies kind of existing on the other side of the clouds as well. There is beauty hiding in this kind of grayscale world. That's a really fun metaphor too, really hopeful. And yeah, we go back to the real world here. The snow is finally starting to melt. We're moving out of winter back into spring. The flowers are kind of growing and blooming. And yeah, this just looks beautiful and the scale's immaculate and yeah, look at the girls flying through the sky. And yeah, and basically from here, everybody gets word of that, and they basically just look at the girls and laugh and think that they're awesome and stuff. This one look at Salt up here as well. This kind of final look here. Look at it, look at it, look at it. Little smile, little smile. I didn't miss it. He's finally happy. Again, they kind of made good on Salt's character, I think, in my opinion. This really feels like Yayaka gets to, like, third wheel and take care of the rabbit, when in reality she really wants to be up there with the other two. Or the other one there in that regard, I think. But, again, maybe I'm reading too far into it. Yeah, Yayaka was cool. I like what they did with her character. Basically did exactly what they needed to do. These three, who are quote-unquote siblings, being amorphous children, are now just going to school being normal kids. Isn't that great? Your arm's also healed too, which is a nice touch, and a bit of a different haircut going on too. I like it. The best one here is Iroha, who after this experience and after what happened to her is vowing to start to paint again, right? She's been inspired by something other than what inspired her in the past, then she still gravitated towards the empty canvas, wanting to put something onto it. She even looks into the sky here, inadvertently maybe seeing our two friends up there flying through the air, and wants to frame it. She wants to draw something like that. Again, looking off into the sky, looking off into the future, looking off into the deep unknown. Lots of stuff there, right? And again, Iroha's going to be okay. We get a little fun indicator there. Again, despite wearing nail polish, which is a fun touch here too. Again, she didn't need that exact traumatic experience to push her to art. Something else in her life has pushed her to pursue art as well. Despite changing the past and what happened there can be other things in the future that still move you towards that kind of area and arena. Again, we shan't just rely on our trauma as the pure fuel behind our art. We can find other things in our lives, potentially other people and relationships, that can inspire said art as well. And yeah, the two just kind of float off and fly into the distance, and the show is completed. Wait, did they kiss? Hang on, am I tripping? Oh, it looked like a little peck there. Maybe she liked it. I don't know. Anyway, the robot's still here, which is detrimental. But yeah, show done. Very, very good. Yeah, as I always tend to do, I come out hotter once I talk about the episode some more and see what they're getting at, and don't just take that kind of initial assumption about it. But yeah, strong. I liked it. I liked it a lot. Again, it's good. It's good to great, I would say. I'm still less hot on it than other stuff, pretty evidently. But yeah, it impressed me upon the rewatch. It's clinical and clean, but it's also hitting all the right notes, I guess. Yeah, weird one to talk about. I'm interested to get some second opinions on it as we kind of finish up here. Poll. I don't know what's going to be on it. There'll be something on it. It'll be up by the time you see this video, if you're a patron, or by the time you're seeing this publicly, like I'll be already watching the show, so I don't know. Anyway, thanks for watching. It's been really fun. Good vote. I thought it was a good show. I thought it matched what I kind of like generally on the channel. So again, more in this kind of vicinity, I wouldn't say no. I definitely wouldn't say no. But yeah, Discord if you want to talk to me, anything about Flip Flappers or anything else. Also get in show suggestions for future polls, that kind of stuff. Like the video right now and subscribe, and stick around. I do lots of videos like this all the time. And if you like anime, you'll probably find something on the channel that you enjoy. Yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the future at some point, or I won't. Goodbye. See ya.